Wait up, Pre. The truth is, it's like a whole jungle out there. Hence, we're talking, well, we have been for a little bit about media literacy. With that is digital literacy. And because we can all have so much access to information and throw it around at our fingertips, then yeah, information literacy becomes even more crucial. What is the truth? UNESCO just ended a whole week, October 24 to 31, Global Media and Information Literacy. We commended since the when 2011. Global Media and Information Literacy Week was brought together by the stakeholders from across the world to share ideas and to explore ways to promote media and information literacy for all. This year's theme was the new digital frontiers of information, media and information literacy for public interest information. That's key. The US having elections, we have all kind of things dealing with, and it's amazing how we get the information thing wrong. But it runs the whole gamut, including, of course, the arts, literature, public speaking, music, the likes, because we're immersed in that all the time. Online now with us is Britton Wright, and he's a creative to the core, but of course he's about business. So he's immersed in all of that, just like we. He's a poet, he's a photographer, and you will remember Jaiku Poetry. We've had them represented on Palav a few times. They've always added great value. Britton, welcome.
Thank you, Jerry. Good afternoon.
How
Thank you
you?
for your warm welcome and thanks for having me on Building Blocks this afternoon.
Always a pleasure. All right, make the link for me. You guys had something very special recently, and it dovetailed beautifully into the global observance of the fact that we need to understand what we have and how we interpret it. Literacy in media globally, and that, of course, at front and center would be digital literacy. Talk to me about your own perspective and a special event that you have that dovetails beautifully into this consciousness.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So, we at Jaiku Poetry, we aim to work with our fellow poets to elevate and maintain a higher standard of professionalism in how we engage with the public and how we present ourselves so that we can have a sustainable and thriving poetry industry in Jamaica as well as across the wider region, right?
Mhm.
So poetry is a powerful tool that we can utilize to broaden people's awareness about a myriad of issues and topics, including and certainly not limited to media and information literacy. So as poets, we can craft messages that can guide our audiences toward more constructive engagement with social media platforms and as well as being more selective with the content with which we interact, which can potentially improve our quality of thinking as a people, as well as helping to improve our ability to effectively focus, which is definitely a challenge these days. So, with all of that being said, we were delighted to have had the opportunity to partner with UNESCO in our effective engagement with the commemoration of Media and Information Literacy Week.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we were able to partner with them through one of our flagship discussion series. This is the second such time that we've had the pleasure of hosting that series, which is sponsored by them. So we are immensely grateful for their support and their sponsorship because we wouldn't have been able to execute that event. And the event in question was held on Monday, October 28th on the grounds of Mico University College. They
Mm-hmm.
are also an active partner with us, and we're very much grateful for their partnership. So what we have going on is Ink and Insights, which is one of our flagship features as Jaiku, right? Where we have stimulating discussions and conversations about a slew of different topics. So this time around, our theme was themes and memes, how
Mm.
social media shapes art and audience,
Right.
right? So we had an expert panel, myself, the poet, alongside Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks,
Mm-hmm.
Carlin Thompson, who is a lecturer at Mico, as well as an award-winning filmmaker in the form of Kyle Chin.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so we all gathered together and shared our thoughts on the topic themes and memes, how social media shapes art and audience.
How was it
It
received?
was it was very well received, and what came out of it was a lot of interesting conversations, especially surrounding certain new concepts. For example, Carolyn brought forth her views on how it is that we used to form our identities within community pre-social media versus how we do so in present day. And she brought up briefly this new concept of profilicity, which is how we now shape our identities through the curation of profiles, right? So that's one of the ways that we currently utilize social media to sort of curate our image, or
Mm-hmm.
our public image, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Mm. Amazing. Wow. Any opportunities emerged in sense of in your own mind or from the conversations? Because this is one of the sweetest things about gatherings like these, when you have energies of complementary energies, I'd like to say, rather than looking at the differences, realize that what I have, you probably use, and we can co-create stuff. What was emerging from that whole space of different people, but in one space, not just physically, but you know, with the same intent, which is to learn from each other and to grow.
absolutely. So from that gathering and from that space, we definitely have in the works potential joint projects or collaborative projects, especially with Kyle Chin,
Hmm.
because like I mentioned before, he's a martial artist and a filmmaker,
Right,
right? And he is definitely about representing brand Jamaica in an authentic way.
right.
And a part of representing our culture as Jamaicans is very much tied to the various creative art forms which we explore and utilize to express ourselves, which, of course, is where poetry comes in. And we definitely have the potential emergence of a collaborative project where we might do a documentary
Hmm.
on the local poetry scene or a film on the local poetry scene, right? Which will be an accurate and authentic expression of or representation of Jamaican poetry, right?
Definitely.
So that's one of many exciting potential collaborations that um, came out of that gathering.
Yes. One of the fits I'm seeing in my own mind, maybe I'm off key, but tell me if whether or not, is that physicality is also a huge part of what we are. I mean, every human being, yes, but there's a kind of a thing where we can function in the most intense academic spaces and run with them with the mind, the creativity, as in, as in this visual and just soaking it in, but also the impact. We're huge on dancing, movement, doing, you know, and so when you have somebody who's involved in their craft that involves art and physicality together, I imagine that that's a great fit for our scene.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, Jamaicans are a very physical people. We love interacting with our environment. We love using our bodies to create art, whether through dance or even just the way that we express ourselves when acting, or even for myself as a poet, we incorporate a lot of physicality
Hmm.
in our expression and our performances, right?
Right.
Um, so absolutely, the physicality is definitely a big
Mhm.
driving force, and
Ex-
I can definitely see where, yes, us as Jamaicans, we definitely have that
Mhm.
about us,
Got it.
and
Before,
we
yes,
definitely integrate it into our various art forms for sure.
definitely. Britton, just tell us exactly how our listeners can reach Jaiku, by social media or otherwise.
Absolutely. So you can reach out to us on our various social media platforms. So we have YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and all of these can be reached at Jaiku Poetry. So it's all one word, all common letters. Jaikupoetry. Jaiku Poetry. So right across Facebook,
Hmm.
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And by the way, speaking of YouTube, for those who would have missed out on being able to join with us last Monday for the panel discussion, whether in person or on the Instagram live, you can go and check out the live on YouTube because we've uploaded it on there,
Hmm.
and it's a very interesting engagement. So I'm sure there's a lot that one could take away from that as it relates to navigating the space of social media and how it influences art. Right?
Thank you very
So
much, Britton. Thank you very much.
absolutely, thank
The,
you as
the,
well.
the closing quotations come from Chronix.